I hope all of you are enjoying your week so far. So today I wanted to talk about being overwhelmed. Do you ever feel overwhelmed? I know I've definitely had times I felt this way. Sometimes we can feel as though there is more going on than we think we can handle, or that things are not happening according to our expectations and exceeding our capability to actually deal with it. When we experience a feeling of being overwhelmed, it can feel all-consuming. We can become completely submerged by our thoughts and emotions about all of life's current problems to the point where we lack efficiency and we feel frozen or paralyzed. This can affect our personal and professional lives, and we can begin experiencing feelings of frustration, hopelessness, self-doubt, inadequacy, and anxiety, all of which make our lives less fulfilling. If we can implement some strategies for when we feel overwhelmed, we can start to take back control of our time and rebuild our focus, energy, and motivation. So the first step is to check in with ourselves and make sure that our basic needs are being met. Life can be a balancing act. When one area is off balance, it can impact every other area of our lives. For example, when we don't get enough sleep, even the most straightforward things can quickly become overwhelming for us. Being able to review our eating habits, physical activity, moments of peace and relaxation, time out for fun and activities, and sleep is very important. So take a look at these areas and let's make sure we are getting a good amount of each of these. If we find a couple areas that need tweaking, we can address one area at a time and work to get them more in balance. Consistently running around or staying busy nonstop doesn't really leave time for our mind and body to rest and regenerate. So let's take care of ourselves so we can feel and perform at our best. The second step is doing a brain dump, meaning writing all of our thoughts down of the things that are on our mind. Just taking 20 minutes to sit down and writing everything out that we want to get completed can really help clear our mind. We can use a notebook or use our computer or even our phone. After everything is written down, we can then begin prioritizing this list. So that leads us into the third step, which is taking the list we made in number 2 and prioritizing our tasks. Let's pick one thing we can work on right now. If it's a large project, we can spend a few minutes breaking it down into smaller steps and perhaps get one of those small steps completed now. There is a lot of power in just doing one thing. In order for us to build up our momentum to accomplishing things in our lives, we have to make a small step forward. Every step gets us closer to our goals and also works on our self-confidence as well. Once that one task is completed, we can then organize and prioritize the rest of the list so we can see what else needs to be done and by when. Also, as we go through our list, we can check to see if there are maybe some tasks we could possibly delegate or just drop off the list completely. Next is number 4, time blocking. Now I know this one may not give us as much freedom as we might like. However, blocking out even a little bit of time each day can help us to put effort toward tasks so we can start chipping away at them. If we don't have a plan, we can cause ourselves to feel anxious because we don't know if or when our tasks will be worked on. By having a schedule, we can put our mind at ease to know that the next day we already have our tasks laid out and how much time we will spend on them. This can help us to sleep at night knowing that everything is going to be taken care of. I know I have found this one very helpful with my schedule. I have been wanting to write a self-help book and I was really struggling to get through it. Once I began blocking out time for my book, I started to see the results over all of my work over the last several weeks, and looking at what I really accomplished encouraged me to keep going. Number 5 is to check our self-talk. For example, say you have a long to-do list and all you keep thinking is, "I'll never get this done." That's a damaging and disempowering thought that can lead us to distress and anxiety. This certainly won't help us to feel good about our capability to accomplish our tasks. So instead of making that type of statement to ourselves, perhaps we could say something like, "This may seem overwhelming to me right now, but if I break this down into smaller parts, it may be more doable." So if thoughts like this come up and they aren't helpful, we can change our thought so we can be more empowered rather than keep us feeling stuck. And please don't beat yourself up if you can't fit everything in. Whatever you're doing is enough. Just remember there is power in your willingness to start where you are. Small steps forward can be powerful if they are done with consistency and regularity. Number 6, setting healthy boundaries. I know we want to make sure everyone else is happy. However, saying no sometimes can help us to stay focused on our tasks. If we continue to say yes to everything, we will bombard ourselves with more responsibilities and end up overwhelmed for sure. If you feel consistently overwhelmed in your life or in certain situations, ask yourself, am I doing too much? Am I taking responsibility for things that aren't really my problem? Am I getting my own needs met? And most importantly, is there anyone in my life who consistently fails to respect my boundaries? We can look at this to make sure our boundaries are being managed so we aren't feeling some of our overwhelmed from this area. Number 7 is to filter out distractions. Smartphones and social media are awesome. However, when we are trying to get things done, we can often let those things take priority over projects we need to get accomplished. I know my phone has gone off before when I was working, and I had to look at it because I was thinking it could be something important. The problem with that is that it distracted me, and then I ended up losing time on a project because I began diving myself into something else. Perhaps when we're working on something, we can either set a timer for 30 minutes or an hour, and then turn off our social media notifications. This can really help to keep the distractions down a bit and give us more time to focus and get our tasks done quicker. Well, I hope you find these suggestions helpful. Next time you feel overwhelmed, check in to see if any of these strategies might be a right fit for you. Remember, enjoying the journey is what it's all about. So, how do you cope with feeling overwhelmed? Please feel free to share your comments below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way these videos will come right to you. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome week.